Katja here, and welcome to my Dreamland round canvas. Here I have gorgeous paper from AB.Studio, and this is Dreamland paper. Yes, I have this beautiful, gorgeous paper, amazing landscapes. It's a beautiful collection with gears and flowers and etc. And I'm thinking to do a round canvas. So I will cut out from this paper and use it on my round canvas. So I'm cutting it out, and sometimes when you have so beautiful papers, it's difficult to choose which side, but this time it will be the more clean side and with the big gears. I use my scissors to make the edges a little bit more rough. I know there are tools, and it works perfect with the scissors. And I want it to be a little rough on the edges to give it more life. And I try to give it more effect on some places, more rough. So I go around it to give the effect that I like. You see me, I'm working, and I want to have some places on the side, so I tear it off also like that. And in front of me I have soft material from Finnabair, and I will use soft material, and I will use it like a glue, and I have a silicone brush, and I really enjoy the flat brushes to have on my surface, and I will stick my paper. The soft material, it's almost like a decoupage glue or something like that, and it gives a fine effect. And I'm adding a little bit more, and it takes a little bit time before it's complete dry. So I'm pushing it so it will dry flat and to not give any bubbles on my surface. So I'm holding it a little bit. Yeah, and when it's dry, I use my silicone brush. You can use your fingers or regular brush. I add the clear gesso all over the surface. Here, because I want to keep it the paper still the pattern, and if I have toned it down, I have used some white gesso, and that's because I will add some paint over it, so I want to let the paint flow. Now I have prepared some cutouts, beautiful papers from the Dreamland Collection. There are some collection with papers with different sheets, and here I have made some cutouts from the Dreamland Collection. I have used different papers, Amazing Life, Flower Life, and cutouts also from the bonus sheet. There are always, so if you order a whole kit with papers, you have always a bonus sheet. And I have chosen some of the papers and made some cutouts, and also painted them with clear gesso. Okay, you see me using now some oil pastels from Prima. I want to have a thin layer of shading, not so much color, because I want to have some contrast. And now when I'm finished with my canvas, when I know the outcome will be, it will not show so much. But you know what I say? I really enjoy the process, and when I was in this stage in my process, I had perhaps another idea, and that's the joy with to create. Perhaps you have a plan, but when you create, the plan changes, and that's okay. I don't mind it. And perhaps sometimes I do layers or I do something on my background and it will not show. And you will find here that also, that what I'm doing now, it will not show. But I enjoy the process, and I think this was the first time when I was using my oil pastels. So I had great time playing with them. So you see me playing around with teal, green, brown, and a little bit yellow shades. And when they're dry, I will start to think a little bit how I'll do. And you see me use oil pastels. I realized that I want to have more dark colors. So I simply use my pen and use my fingers to add, and it really gives a gorgeous effect. I think I must do this more often, to use the oil pastels and to give a dark effect. And I do this because I want to keep the gears here on the papers and add more contrast, because I think the paper are just amazing. I hope you will enjoy the videos. There are so many talented people who creates with the AB.Studio's paper, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos, and click on the bell button so you will have a notice when there is a new video. And give also the thumbs up if you like the video. Okay, I have some stamp set. Gorgeous stamp, and it's so many stamps in the mixed media set number 2. And I will pick the round stamps, and I will be stamping with my embossing ink. And I realize I must have something in the back of the canvas, because when I'm been stamping, I must have something hard on the back side. So I use my embossing ink and stamping a little bit here and there, and I use the 3 different stamps a little bit randomly, but I have some plan or not, I don't know. And I use a white embossing ink, or embossing powder, so sorry, and try to get all over where I have been stamping. And you see it's a little bit difficult because my canvas is hard. Here I could have done in other way. Could done it on the paper, and when I have done some layering, I could add it on my canvas. So you can always do on the different ways. But like I said, this is one way, and this is the way I've done it on the project, because I haven't decided ahead what I will do. So don't worry. Sometimes it goes like that. Okay, here I have this just amazing stencil with numbers. I just love it. Numbers and letters are a great contrast to things, and here I pick some numbers and add them here and there. And you will see I was wishing that I have made some more numbers, but I think I will think about that in some other project in the future. And you see me speeding up a little bit, so I'm adding numbers here and there, and I have some graphite paste from Finnabair. And this is a gorgeous shape of numbers. Yeah, you see me add them here and there, and sometimes you don't know how much and how big your composition will be. Be sure to clean your stencil. You can do with water. I use baby wipes because I'm a little bit lazy to go to the kitchen or the bathroom to wash my stencils, so it's easier to use baby wipes. Yes, I will pick some other stamp from the mixed media set number 2. There is some text, and now I have black ink, water resisting, and I will stamp some text here and there to give some interest. And so this is a way of adding some interest to and texture to not have it too flat. I think it already looks amazing. Let me know what you think. It would be fun to hear and leave a comment. I will try to come back, or I will come back and read it. And here I have some chipboards, and I have embossing ink on them also, and I have embossing ink with the mixing sizes of flake from Stampenders. I like them, and I'm not so exactly when I will do embossing. It doesn't need to be on every little piece of the chipboard. I don't mind. And it takes a little bit time for the chipboards to heat, so I'm going over to the project. And here I have the plan to emboss my numbers, but it was still a little bit wet, the paste, so I decided to add some embossing powder on the graphite paste, and what's happened is that it gives more texture and it gives more glossy effect on mine. Here I have some leftover chipboards, and I don't throw my leftovers. I use them, and I have used them here as for the background to give a little bit more depth to my round canvas. And now I add my chipboards as for some interest in the background. So Be sure to subscribe to the channel and give the thumbs up. And if you like, share with your friends. Perhaps there is something like that you find interesting. That would be enormous fun. I think it's important to share and to like, to be supportive if it's something you like. Here I have some ribbon, and it's a ribbon from a previous project, and it's a little bit green and brown. I also have some what you call it? I forgot the words. I hope you see what it is. Suddenly I lost my words. Oh, it's unbelievable. But it's middle of the night when I have done this voiceover. And, I must find out the word. And you see me using the chipboards in the background, the leftovers, and that's perfect for my cutouts to give them a more sturdy back and also to give some dimension. Yes, and now my decoration start to go on the branch. Yes, wooden branch. And it will not show so much, but it's from the nature, and it's really cheap, so it doesn't need to cost so much, the project, because sometimes there are so much decorations and like that used. So to use wooden branches that you can pick in the forest, or you have something fun in your garden, it's to get a more low-cost project. Now you see me adding my cutouts. Sometimes I have some chipboard leftovers in the background, and sometimes not. I'm gluing all my cutouts with a 3D gloss gel. You can use any medium if you like, but I will really prefer the Finnabair gel. And sometimes I have 2 chipboard pieces, sometimes I have 1, and I have chipboards, the leftovers, the branches, so there are places to fill the gaps, and that's what I do. I've tried to fill the gaps on a natural way, so my decoration stick out a little bit here and there. And I really enjoy these cutouts. It's you can spend some time in the sofa looking on the movie or listening on the radio music and do your cutouts, and then you're ready to do a project, and they are already cut out. And that's perfect because I'm a little bit impatient to do some coloring or something like that. So this is a perfect project. Then you can do some coloring or stamping or adding more color or touches on the cutouts. That's okay. But you see, it works perfectly fine, and my branch is almost covered with its gorgeous cutouts. Flowers, leaves, the feathers, clocks and gears in a gorgeous mix, almost like a dream catcher. And I think that was perhaps my first idea about the dream catcher. Now I will add a little bit contrast to all of my cutouts. So I add a little bit contrast in color in my flowers, and I want my paper flowers only to show a little bit, so I stick them under. Yes, to stick them under to give a little bit more like a shade and a contrast to the cutouts. To give contrast, make the cutouts to pop out a little bit more. I also have some metallic embellishment, and they are brown and rusty gears, and I add them also here and there. That's what I try always to do on my projects. If I have something, much of something, I try to add contrast. Like here, a lot of paper cuttings. Then I add metallics and flowers. I will add some more layers also, but I try to do that. And if I have a lot of cuttings, I try to add something glossy or papers or something on that. Because I think the contrast make interest for the eyes. I think that's my vision. I have some pebbles here, and I'm trying them out. I also have some metallic wire, and it's a very fine and thin metallic, and it will not be perfect, so you see me having some wire almost like a thread, messing it up and pushing it in some places, so I stick it. And my product is not still dry, and there are some gel, and I add a little bit more extra, and now it's only important that I leave it for drying, and then the wire will stick perfectly on my project. I really have had a good time creating this round canvas. So fun with all my cutouts. You must try this. It's easy project even for beginners if you haven't done it. Yep, so fun. Try to layering and adding more details. I really enjoy it, and now I'm thinking to have some sweet sequins, and I will also add some art stones, a little bit of the soft matte gel, and I had some stones. And I love these stones, but I'm sure to not have too much, only here and there to add a little bit more interest. So not too many on the brush. Some projects I can add more, but this time a little bit fewer ones. So if you don't know what to do with a project, be sure to add clear gesso or white gesso on your cutouts or background paper, so you can play with colors before you can change mind. Now you see me adding the sequins, and I want to add some shine to my project. I love glitter and shine and like that. And again, it's about the contrasts. Yeah, and I love the butterflies, feathers and flowers. So it's a really fun project. Now I want to have like a shades around my details, so I will add more little bit water and the oil pastels and adding a little bit more shade around my composition, so the composition will pop out more. I don't want to have too much color, so you see me playing around. Yeah, hope you enjoy this video, and I have fun, and I have been chatting a little bit here, even if I am a little bit tired. But so fun creating. And you see I go around my oil pastels and it's getting more brown and dark, and I'm playing around and having a good time. And that's what creating is about, to having a good time. Now I'm adding a little bit white splatters, and it will not show so much, only like a small detail on the project. So, hope you had a great time, and see you soon in the next tutorial. Have a nice time. Bye bye. See you soon again.